We're gonna start in a minute or two. We're not almost there, not ready yet. Hey. Okay. Oh, the lights changed, and now the pre-show has begun. Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse Freedman. I am the Artistic Director of MetaPhys Ed, and I welcome you to the Brick Theater for Machine Learning Hamlet, or Text Like Daggers. This is my friend Lauren. Lauren, right? Lauren is an audience member, just like you are an audience member, a spectator. And the only difference between you and Lauren is that Lauren is going to watch the show from this swivel chair, this comfortable swivel chair. And that while Lauren is watching the show and you are watching the show, you will be watching Lauren watch the show, but you will also be watching the show by the people on YouTube. So you can wave to all the people on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. And if Lauren wants to watch you watch the show, she can do that. So everybody is both spectator and spectacle. The show is live. Everything about it is live. It's not pre-recorded. And everybody is seeing the same show, or maybe they're not. Maybe the work of art is different depending on if you're you or YouTube or Lauren. But that's a theoretical question we can talk about at the bar after. The show is about an hour long. Please turn off your cell phones. No photography or video recording. We're very excited to be back here at the Brick after what we're calling the Great Intermission. So thank you for coming out again for live theater. Please keep your mask on unless you're drinking. Thank you very much. This is Machine Learning Hamlet, or Text Like Daggers.
Hello, world. The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, by William Shakespeare. Enter Elsinore Castle, a room of state. Claudius and Gertrude, the king and queen of Denmark. Counselors Voltimand and Cornelius, Polonius and his son Laertes. Flourish. Exit Cornelius and Voltimand to Norway with official document. Exit Laertes to France. Speak to King.
But now my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still land on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun. Speak to Queen.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off. Let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark.
Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knows, 'tis common, all that lives. Aye, mother, it is common.
Why seems it so particular with thee?
seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe. 'Tis sweet and commendable to give these mourning duties to your father, but pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, for let the world take note, you are most immediate to the throne.
We beseech you to remain here in Denmark. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
Stay in Denmark. I shall in all my best obey you, madam. Flourish. Exit all but Hamlet. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God! God! How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on't! Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. Oh, so excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he might not, beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman, a little month! Rare those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Oh, married with my uncle. My father's brother. But no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married, oh most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must. Hold tongue. Enter Marcellus, Bernardo, and Horatio.
Hail, your lordship!
Speak to Horatio. My good friend, I am very glad to see you, but what in faith make you from Wittenberg? I pray thee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio, my father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
Methinks I saw him yesternight.
Listen. 2 nights together had these gentlemen in the dead waste in middle of the night been thus encountered. A figure, like your father, armed, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes, whilst they distilled almost a different sorrow than in anger, pale, very pale, and fixed his eyes upon you. Pray, angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of heaven or goblin damned, bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable, thou comes in such a questionable shape. Speak to ghost. Call thee Hamlet. The ghost beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartment it desire to you alone. Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. What if it tempt you towards the flood, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff, and there assume some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason, and draw you into madness? The ghost wafts you still. Follow ghost.
You shall not go, my lord.
Horatio and Marcellus grab you by the arm. Hold off your hands! The ghost wafts you still. Diagnostic. Fate cries out and makes each petty artery in this body as hardy as the Nemean lion's nerve. Follow ghost. Exit. Enter another part of the platform. Stop. Speak. I'll go no further. Mark me. My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself. Lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. Speak, I am bound to hear. So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, fast in fires, foul crimes, the secrets of my prison house. Thy soul freeze, thy young blood, ears, flesh, blood. If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. Murder most foul, foul, strange, and unnatural. Now, Hamlet, here, 'tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. I, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, witchcraft of his wit, traitorous gifts of wicked wit, and gifts that have the power so to seduce one to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief, let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole with a juice of cursed Hebena in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched. The blossoms of my sin, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, oh,
horrible, most horrible! Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But, howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven. Thorns prick, sting. The glowworm shut the matin to be near. Uneffectual fire. Adieu. 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 Remember me.
Exit ghost. Diagnostic. Unsupported personality. Pray. Oh, all you host of heaven. Oh, earth. What else shall I couple hell? Oh, fie, hold my heart, and you my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee, I, thou poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, remember thee. Take tablet. The tablet is full of all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all forms, all pressures past, that youth and observation copied there. Erase tablet. Done. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain. Villain, smiling, damn it, villain. My tables mean it is I set it down that one may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. Right. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. You have sworn't. Enter Marcellus, Bernardo, and Horatio.
Heaven secure him!
Take sword.
My lord.
Request. Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear't. Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed. Swear by my sword, never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword, never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd, soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you at such time seeing me to note that you know aught of me. This do swear. They have sworn. Exit. Enter Hamlet's closet. Put on an antic disposition. Doublet all unbraced, no hat upon your head, stockings fouled, ungartered, and down-jived to your ankle, pale as your shirt, knees knocking each other. Look in mirror. A look so piteous, as if you had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors. Exit. Enter Ophelia's closet. She is sewing. Come before Ophelia. Take Ophelia by the wrist. You are holding her wrist. Step back. You step back to the length of all your arm. Diagnostic. You are sweating. Look at Ophelia. You peruse her face as if you would draw it. Wait. Time passes. Your arm is shaking a little, and thrice your head thus wave up and down. You raise a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all your bulk and end your being. Drop wrist. You let go. Exit. You seem to find your way without your eyes. For out of doors you go without their helps, and to the last bended their light on Ophelia. Enter lobby. Read book. Words, words, words. Enter Polonius.
How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Insult Polonius. Well, God a mercy, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man. For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog... Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Still harping on his daughter. Said he was a fishmonger? You are far gone. Exit Polonius, behind a tapestry. Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
My honored lord, my most dear lord.
Tedious old fools. My excellent good friends, how dost thou, good lads, how dost you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Examine Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. There is a kind of confession in their looks which their modesties have not craft enough to color. The king and queen have sent for them, but to what end? That they must teach you. What makes you at Elsinore? To visit you, my lord.
No other occasion.
Let me conjure you, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air. Look you, this brave, o'erhanging firmament. This majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why, it appeareth no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a woman. How noble in reason. How infinite in faculties, in form and moving. How express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like God. The beauty of the world. The paragon of animals. And yet, to me, quintessence of dust. Enter the players. Tragedians of the city, the best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical, historical pastoral, scene individable, or poem unlimited. Flourish. Welcome all. Welcome, good friends. Oh, my old friend. Thy face is valanced since I saw thee last. Come set a beer in me in Denmark. We'll into it like French falconers, fly at anything we see. We'll have a speech. Straight. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially when he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. 'Tis not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus o'ersized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old Grandshire Priam seeks. So, proceed you.
Anon he finds.
Anon he finds him striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched Pyrrhus at Priam derives, in rage strikes. Say on, come to Hecuba. But who, ah woe, had seen the mobled queen, run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with bisen rheum, a clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all o'er teemid loins a blanket. In the alarm of fear caught up,
What a rogue
who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, 'gainst fortune state would treason have pronounced. But in a fiction, in a dream of passion could force her soul, so to her own conceit that from her working all
did see her then. When she
Tears in
saw
her
Pyrrhus make a malicious
distraction
sport
in
in
aspect, a
mincing
broken
with his
voice, and her
sword
whole
her husband's limbs, the instant
function.
burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal move them not at all, would have made milch
And all
the
for
burning
nothing.
eyes of heaven
For Hecuba.
and passion in the gods.
What's Hecuba to her, or she to Hecuba, that she should weep for her? What would she do
She
had
would
she the
drown the
motives and the cue
stage
for
with
passion that I
tears,
have?
and cleave the general ear with
drown the stage
horrid
with tears
speech,
and cleave the
make
general ear with
mad
horrid
the guilty,
speech.
and appall the
mad the
free,
guilty,
confound the
appall
ignorant,
the
and
free,
amaze indeed the very
confound the ignorant and
faculties
amaze
of
indeed
eyes
the
and
very
ears.
faculties of eyes and ears.
Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak
muddy-mettled
like
rascal
John a
peak.
dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing.
Of my cause.
No,
Say nothing.
not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made.
Am I?
Am I a coward? Who calls me a villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Swoons I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Or ere this, I should have fatted all the region kites with the slaves of fall. Bloody body villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain.
Why, what an
Oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, my heart with words, and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Fie upon't. Foe. About my brains.
My brains. Speak to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. See the players well bestowed, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. Take them and we'll hear a play tomorrow. Exit Rosencrantz, Guildenstern. Speak to player 1. Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord. You could, for any...
Study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert int, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow those lords, and look you mock them not. We'll hear the play tomorrow night. Exit player 1. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malfections. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with a most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll taint him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yeah, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds, more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Take pen. Taken. Write play. Thoughts black. Hands act. Drugs fit. And time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected. With Hecate's band, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately. Pours the poison in his ears. To be, or not to be. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die. To sleep. No more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong,
the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes when she herself might her quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you now. Enter the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered. Ophelia has remembrances of yours that she has longed long to redeliver.
I pray you now receive them.
Take letter. No, not I never gave you aught. Drop letter.
My honored lord, you know right well you did.
And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. I did love you once. You should not have believed me. I loved you not. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Farewell. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell. To a nunnery! Oh! Exit Ophelia. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. And Ophelia of ladies, most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his musicked vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason blasted with ecstasy. Read letter to the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautiful Ophelia. Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best, believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him Hamlet. Oh, woe is Ophelia. Enter player one. Speak to player one. You o'erstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so o'erdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is to hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature.
to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, her form and pressure.
Yes, my lord.
Go make you ready. Exit player 1. Speak to Horatio. Horatio? Horatio. There's a play. There's a play tonight before the king. Yes? One scene of it comes near the circumstance of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. Yes? If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as a Vulcan stithy. Give him heedful note, for I mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming. Yes? Flourish. They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place. Trumpets and kettle drums. Enter King, Queen, Polonius, Ophelia, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, lords, attendants, and guards carrying torches. Flourish. Go curtain. The king rises. Give o'er the play.
Give me some lights. Away!
Lights. 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 Exit all but Hamlet and Horatio. Oh, good Horatio! I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Didst perceive? Upon the talk of the poisoning. Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The queen.
Your mother desires to speak with you in her closet.
Speak to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Take flute. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
It is as easy as lying. Look you, these are the stops.
I have not the skill.
Why, look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. And there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak? Splud! Do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. Exit. Enter a chamber. The king is kneeling in prayer. Draw sword. Now might I do it? Now he is praying, and now I'll do it. Up sword, and so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged! That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. Why, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown as flush as May, and how his audit stands, who knows save heaven? But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Down, sword. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game, a swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in't, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days. Exit. Enter Queen's chamber. Speak to mother.
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended. Look, a mirror where you may see the inmost part of you. Take mirror, taken. Show mirror.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Ho!
Behind tapestry.
What ho? Help!
A rat? Draw sword. Kill it! You thrust the rapier through the tapestry.
Oh, I am slain!
Pull curtain. Polonius's body falls from behind the tapestry. Speak to mother. Wring her heart. Look, a painting. The counterfeit presentment of two brothers. Show painting. See what grace was seated on this brow? This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Eyes without feeling. Feeling without sight. Speak words like daggers. These words like daggers enter into her ears. Thou turnst her eyes into her very soul, and there she sees such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct. No more! Enter ghost. A king of shreds and patches. Speak to ghost. Do you not come your tony son to chide? That last in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say,
To whom do you speak this?
Do not forget. This visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. Look. Amazement on thy mother sits, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet.
look how pale he glares. Do you see nothing there?
Alas, he is mad!
Why, look you there! Look how it steals away my father! Exit ghost. Diagnostic. My pulse doth temperately keep time. It is not madness that I have uttered. Reword. Mother, for love of grace, confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come. Forgive me this, my virtue. Thou hast cleft her heart in twain. Oh, throw away the words are part of it, and live the purer with the other half. If words be made of breath, and breath of life, have she no life to breathe what thou hast said to her? Take body, taken. Lug the guts into the neighbor room. Enter the neighbor room. Draw apart body. Done. Exit with body. Enter lobby. Drop body. Thump. Hide body under stairs. Done. Enter Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Insult. You are a sponge.
A sponge, my lord.
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you. And sponge, you shall be dry again. They understand you not. Knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king. But the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Of nothing. Follow Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Exit. Enter the king's chamber.
Where's Polonius?
Insult Claudius, the king of Denmark. At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes but to 1 table. That's the end.
What does thou mean by this?
Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby. Exit attendants. Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety must send thee hence with fiery quickness to England. Prepare thyself for England. Exit Elsinore Castle. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern following you at foot. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern tempt you with speed aboard the ship, which will leave tonight. Follow Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Enter a coastal highway. A captain and army traveling towards Elsinore. Speak to captain. Good sir, whose powers are these?
Norway, sir.
How purposed, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
A little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5, I would not farm it. Nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate, should it be sold in fee. It is already garrisoned. Who commands them, sir?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras.
I humbly thank you, sir. He exits. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure, she that hath made us, with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust in us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion, or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, the thought which quartered hath but 1 part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward. I do not know why yet I live to say this thing's to do. Sith I have cause, and will, and strength, and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me, witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an Easter egg. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I then? Follow Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern escort you to the ship. Enter a ship to England. Look, a sea gown of coarse cloth. Put on sea gown. The sea gown is scarfed about you. Sleep. You are unable to sleep. There is a fighting in your heart worse than the mutants and the bilbos. Look, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern asleep in hammocks. In the dark, you grope around and find what appears to be a packet of papers. Take papers. Taken. Read papers. A royal commission importing England that on the supervise, Prince Hamlet's head should be struck off. A royal knavery! Devise a new commission. A royal commission importing England that on the supervise, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern's heads should be struck off. Seal commission. A signet ring once belonging to your father leaves the impression of the official Danish seal. Drop new commission. Dropped. Sleep. You are awakened by clamoring seamen. Look, a pirate ship of very warlike appointment is giving you chase. Finding yourself too slow of sail, the ship's crew puts on a compelled valor against the pirates. Board pirate ship. In the grapple, you are able to board the pirate ship unnoticed. Remove sea gown. The pirates now recognize you as a prince. They deal with you like thieves of mercy. Send message to Horatio. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. These seafaring men will bring thee where I am. Exit to Denmark, escorted by pirates. Welcome to Denmark. Exit pirates. Enter Weeping Brook. There is a willow, grows askant the brook that shows her gray leaves in the glassy stream. Examine Weeping Brook. Fantastic garlands of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples there on the pendant boughs hang. An envious sliver broke and fell down in the weeping brook, spread wide, mermaid-like, and muddy. Exit. Enter a churchyard. Enter Horatio. Look, two clowns afar off digging and singing. Had this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making. Throws up a skull. Take skull. Look. This skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. This might be the pate of a politician or of a courtier. Speak to Lady Worms Chopless. Good morrow, Lord such a one. How dost thou, sweet lord? Drop skull. Throws up another skull. Take skull. Look. Maybe the skull of a lawyer? Quiddities, quillities, cases, tenures, and tricks. A fine pate full of fine dirt. Wild and whirling words. Drop skull. Speak to grave digger. Whose grave's this, sirrah? Mine, sir. I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it. What man dost thou dig it for? For no man, sir. What woman, then? One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead. How absolute the knave is. How long have you been a gravedigger? Of all the days in the year, I came to it that day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras. 'Twas that very day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England, 'cause he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there. Ha! Faith, if he be not rotten before he die. Goes up another skull. Thump. Take skull. Taken. Look. Alas. Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing. Dost thou think Alexander looked in this fashion in the earth? Drop skull. Dropped. Enter Claudius and Gertrude, the king and queen of Denmark, lords, attendants, Laertes, and a priest following a coffin. Couch we a while and mark. Who is this they follow? Such maimed rites doth betoken the corpse. A desperate hand took its own life? 'Twas of some estate. Look, virgin krantz, maiden struments, gathering flowers. Look, Laertes, a very noble youth.
A ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What, the fair Ophelia? Look, Laertes leaps into grave. What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers. By the image of pause, I see the portraiture of his. The bravery of his grief puts me into a towering passion, advancing. This is I, Hamlet the Dane! Laertes leaps out of grave.
Devil, take thy soul!
Grapple, prithee take thy fingers from my throat. Hamlet and Laertes are separated. Fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all the quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her? Swoons, show me what thou'lt do. Wilt weep, wilt fight, wilt fast, wilt tear thyself, wilt drink up easily to crocodile. I'll do it! Swoo, he is mad. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew and dog will have his day. Exit. Exit! 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 This is madness. Enter Weeping Brook. Enter Horatio. Apologize. I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. Why, what a king is this? Does it not, thinks thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, is not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil. Enter Osric, a young landowner. He is holding his hat. Speak to Osric. Put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord. Indeed.
Listen. His Majesty the King has laid a great wager on your head, that in a dozen passes between yourself and Laertes, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is. What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons, but well. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no woman of aught she leaves knows what is to leave betimes. Accept challenge. Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. Enter Elsinore Castle, a room of state, a table prepared. Enter trumpets, drums, officers with cushions, king, queen, all the state, flagons of wine, foils, daggers, and Laertes.
Give us the foils, come on.
I'll be your foil, Laertes.
You mock me, sir.
Take sword. This likes me well.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
Examine swords. These foils all have the same length. Prepare to play. Stoops of wine are set upon a table before the king.
Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath.
Give me the cups.
The king drinks to Hamlet. Flourish. Play with sword. Clang. Crash. You dodge as Laertes comes in low. Play with sword. A hit! A very palpable hit. Trumpets, drums, and a shot goes off. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine.
He drinks and then drops in your cup a pearl, richer than that which 4 successive kings of Denmark's crown have worn. Take cup.
Here's to thy health.
Drop cup. I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Flourish. Play with sword. Clang. Crash. Laertes parries. His sword barely misses your ear. Play with sword. Another hit! Diagnostic. Sweaty, out of breath. The queen offers you a napkin.
Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brow.
Take napkin, rub brow.
The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
The queen drinks. Examine king. There is a confession in his looks. Examine Laertes. You can see his conscience. Flourish. Play with sword. Clang. Crash. Laertes parries. You dodge as Laertes comes in low. Play with swords. Laertes is disarmed by a subtle feint past his guard. Laertes, somewhat surprised at this turn of events, nimbly retrieves his weapon. Play with sword. In a scuffling, you exchange rapiers and both of you are wounded with his weapon. The queen falls.
The drink! The drink! Oh, my dear Hamlet! I am poisoned!
The queen dies. Look, villainy, treachery, locked doors locked, diagnostic, very sweaty and scant of breath. Laertes falls.
Hamlet, thou art slain.
Diagnostic, no medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed.
The foul
Practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother poisoned, I can no more. The king's to blame.
Laertes dies. Hurt king with poisoned sword.
Treason! Tap! Kill king with poison!
The king dies. I follow thee. Goodbye, world. Oh, I am dead. Horatio, adieu. Audience to this act, had I but time, oh, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. You let go. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. Oh, what a wounded name. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Die. Oh, die.